Hello everyone. So this is continuation of the part 1 of the series where I had shown how to go about monitoring SES and the steps that one can take. You can click on the video to the first video on the thumbnail to get more information on that. But in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you rather than going and checking the dashboard each time, how we can use another pattern that we can be notified if there is a bounce or complaint so that we are on top of if there's any spammers and our reputation is intact. So this is going to be the deep dive session because I'm going to do a setup right here instead of doing separately and just providing you details. So there could be errors, but this is where I think it's going to be educational, but little as well. So without further ado, let's get into it. To do a recap of the previous slide, this is what I had covered. I won't go into details of each one, but these are the things that we had covered. Understanding AWS SES, monitoring identities, configuration sets, differences, and what are the best practices. These are few things. You can click on the first video to check the details of it. I won't go, but this is where I'll kind of skip over here. This is the architecture that we are going to be setting up, where we are going to have a configuration set that sends out a notification using SNS. And this is where we can set it up using Lambda and be able to notify the user if there is any bounce or any other setup as part of this thing. So let's get in here. And what I'll do is I'll come into first setting up a configuration set as part of SES. And then we'll go into the other setting. So this is where we'll start with creating a configuration set that sends out a SNS event to Lambda. And the user is notified or the admin or support person is notified of any bounces or complaints or any other SES issues that we want to track. So first we'll go to the setup. I have this here where I'm logged in, and now we'll go to SES. This is where I click SES, and we do have SES configured. Now these are the two configuration sets that are there. And let me just see, I don't want to have any issues with the one. So let of doing, we just use this one over here. So this is nothing much. You can come here. They can create a configuration set, give a name, and you can just create a set. That's pretty simple. Nothing's out of it. But once you come here, this is where you can click on event destinations. Now, this is what you see. You get this tracking per domain that is created. And let me go back just to see if there's any event here. Okay, there are two, right, CloudWatch we have. So I'll go to the first one because I'll delete the second one. I think it's redundant. I'll just delete it. So this is the event destination. So what I'll do is I'll come here. I don't want to have it just for CloudWatch because this is where the first video we showed it only for CloudWatch. But in this one, I'm going to show how to do it for the pattern architecture that was shown. So I come here, I click on add destination, and this is where I will need to choose the SNS topic as part of this thing. So what I want to do is, I want to have rejects. I want to have hard bounces monitored, planes. So probably delivery delays is also what I'll be interested in. And over here, I could kind of get, if I want some more information, I could do this. But for now, I think these are fine. I'll hit next. And this is where I'll choose SNS out here. And I'll just give this SES tracking. And now I have to, okay, this is not, I'll just create a new SNS topic as part of this. And what I'll do is I'll give the same name, SES tracking, and I'll give it the same name for display as well. Now this is what should create my topic out here. And see this topic, I can come here, I can choose it. I hit next. We can review the settings out here if we have to do any changes. But this is where you can come and hit the add destination. Now, what is going to happen is anytime if we use this configuration set and there is a complaint or a bounce, a notification will be sent to SNS. So now I come to the SNS part and we need to configure the setup out here. So I come here, SNS, this is the one I created. Just review the policy. Because sometimes the policy is what you need to ensure that it has the right permissions in place. So just check this one out. Usually this is a default one. You don't need to do it. So you're fine. Data protection, just see these settings. But encryption, just come here to the encryption one as well. And for now, I'll just give it the default key. It's always good. You don't really need to have it encrypted. So you could always give it the AWS default key, or you could choose your own key out here if you want. So for now, I'll just give it the AWS key and move on with it. So this is the subscription that is created. Now what I'll do is I'll create, as this is the topic that is created, I have to create now a subscription. So let me create the subscription, and this is where I'll need to come here, and in the protocol I'll choose Lambda out here. Now this is where, because what we're going to say is this SES, this should send out Eve to SNS, which is simple notification service, and simple notification service should send out a notification to Lambda, and that is what we are setting out here. So this is what I do, and now I need to give the Lambda, I need to create a Lambda out here, so we'll go straight and set up the Lambda. So let me open the Lambda part out here. Let me search for Lambda. Yep, so this is where we go. We create a, so let me see if I have any Lambda creator. I don't have any Lambda. So let me create one new function. And this is, I'll give SES notification. And I'll just choose this as Python because I have the code already written for this. And this code is going to be there in the blog. If you guys want, you can always free to take the code. But I'll choose the latest version of Lambda. And now what I also need to do is I need to give permission out here. So what I'll do is I would have permission already. You don't want to have this create a new role. You just want to reuse it because otherwise from the operations perspective, each time you start creating a role, it'll become, you don't know which one is used for what resource. It'll become complex. So just use an existing role. And here, what I'll do is this is my setup. It's only me who has access. You don't want to give full access, but let me just see if I can reduce it actually. Let me make a policy and I can try it. Instead of giving this full access, I'll reduce it. Okay, this is just the name is full access, but the permission is something else. Yes, the DynamoDB permission, and there's SES send email. So yeah, just the email is the one thing that we need as part of this setup. So, but we extend this one because also what I would need to have few other SES permissions out here other than this. So let me extend this and SES : send, and you can always come here and you can choose from here. Probably just do this and so you just type in here, send raw, or just do a send star. I think it will be simpler. I'll just do send raw. Let me type it here. You can come here, do this, and you can also come here, SES : send bulk. And then, so this is a few of the permissions that we will require to put it out here. So I think they should ensure we have the right permission. I hit next, I do save, and this will provide me the required access out here for this particular setup. I can always refresh and I'll see the out here. Yeah, this API gateway, the name is kind of thing, but yeah, to get the point, you just need to provide the right permission. You can always give it an a VPC, the function, but that is, which is a good thing. But for now, I'll be done with this function and move on. So now I have this setup. I have the code already written. So let me, for the sake of this video, you don't want to watch me coding out here. So let me just take this code. This is in Python. I have this code, and this code you can always take it from the website as well if you're interested in this design pattern. And you deploy the code. And this is where you can come in here and check the setting to check. So let me see if there is anything. I think this should be fine. Yeah. So I just gave the admin and then the permission. So I think this should look good. And then let me change this to be timer to be 300, which is 5 minutes. And say SES notification bonds plans. So this is just, it's always good to, because when you have more functions, this what will help you find the right function. You can always provide this environment variables. For now, I'll leave it. And I think this should be fine. But what I'll do is I'll just do a test as part of this setup. And test, okay, so now let me take this SES notification and come back to this function out here, okay, on. So let me get the on from here. You can take the on from here. On is nothing but Amazon resource name. So you take the on, you should see this. We don't have anything to filter, so I'll create a subscription. Now this has created my subscription out here. So what I do is now I see this Lambda, I see this SNS subscription, and then this is the setup out here. So let me come back to the function and just do a few print statements out here. Okay, I printed this. Okay, so this is good. I already printed it, and now let's see if this is sort of what I do is I come to my configuration set, and I need to send test emails to test this out. So SES config. The function is created, and if we have to review the entire setup, what we did is we created the configuration set, SNS, Lambda, and notify user. Now we can come and test it out. So let me first test it out in a Lambda. Now what I did was, I have this test type. What I did, not completed. I took this event from one of the documentations available from AWS. I simulated this complaint out here to match what AWS will eventually send out if there is a complaint generated. But this is what one can do and come here, and they can always create this event, and this is what I did, and I was testing it out. And you can see this is a success, and it should provide you a message ID. This will confirm that the user admin at Arina Technologies will be sending out an email to the sales person who needs to be notified of a specific bounce or complaint. This is important, specifically when we have to ensure we have the reputation maintained. So this is you to ensure that your reputation is intact. You have minimal bounce or complaint rates. Otherwise, if you have too high, your SES service could be blocked, and also you could be flagged by other email providers that this are spamming, or taking action on the people who are spamming using your service. So it's very important, and hence this pattern is very simple and very useful to do. But now that the message ID is sent, and now if I come here, I can always test it out via identity. This is one of the identities I have. I can do a send test email. I can choose come here. One of the things I wanted to simulate was bounce. Let me test bounce. And let me just take the same and put it here. This is where I want to choose the first configuration set. There is nothing apply, and let me do a send test email. Now this is where if I come in here, let me go back, and if I come to monitor in the Lambda, and if I click on, now I should see some metrics out here. Okay, I see a few dots. That means it is working, and there is an error as well actually. Let me see, what is this error? Yeah, I need to fix this error to ensure it is working properly. So, but if I can see something in the monitor part, and if this logs provides me something. Okay, so this is the complaint. Okay, this is the thing when I was testing it using this test event, and this is using the sample event simulator. But what we are really interested is in the bounce, because at the end when we are sending an email, this is complaint reason. Okay, this is still complaint. So this is not working. There is a errors and success. Error count is, red one is error. There is an error here. So I need to get to the error. Why is this an error actually? Now let me see if I can see something in this logs. If I can see in the subscription. Push notifications. Okay, so this, like one of the things I'm seeing, I think I gave this incorrect here. Let me try fixing this and see if I'm able to get this fixed. So I come here in destinations, and if I'm able to, okay, let's try editing it. SES tracking. Yeah, it's saying it doesn't like this for some reason. And if I have to see here, the access policy is an important thing just to ensure SES is there and it does provide access as well to publish. This is the default, but just for the sake of it, let me try deleting this key because encryption, let me disable it just in case this is causing, because encryption is sometimes tricky. You would need permissions set up and all. So if any details required on using keys, HSM, you could click audio videos where that will show you how to go about setting up encryption. So let me see if this helps and try enabling. Okay, there you go. So I think the encryption was the problem and that is where after removing. So encryption probably I think we can take it another time. So now if I go back and go to the identities and then go back and choose admin. Let me send a test email and let me choose a bounce and see test bounce if this works. Okay, so let's wait for it till we get some message out here. And one of the things we could always come back and see is the CloudWatch logs. Okay, so let's see if we have something. Okay, there you go. So you see, this is the bounce and now the email is working properly. So I hope this was useful in seeing that it's such a simple setup one can do. We don't need to get into complex architectures. All one can monitor, bounce and logging. And that's the simple pattern. Please like, subscribe to this video with your friends who are looking for a way of monitoring SES. And please drop in your comment if you have anything, questions. The code is in the blog. Feel free to use it and please subscribe to the channel so we can further grow and share this knowledge with others as well. Thank you and have a good day. Please like, subscribe, share the video. Please contact us for any of your cloud requirements or cloud consulting requirements. We have decades of experience in cloud and we can definitely help your organization take the right step in cloud. With that, thank you and see you in the next video.